Okay, so guys, today we'll be starting 10.5 angle relationships in circles, and this section will cover a bunch of different theorems. I think 3 theorems overall, and you need to pay attention because each one of them works a little bit differently from the other ones. Alright, so let's get started with the first theorem, and of course we'll start with a circle. And let's see, we have a tangent line at the very bottom. If you remember what the tangent line is, it's the line that only intersects with the circle at one point. So let's say if this is point A, then you have a line goes up. Here is point B, and we just have another point C on the side. Alright, so here we have angle 1 and angle 2. So because angle 1 and angle 2, they make the straight line here. So angle 1 plus angle 2, it will be 180. But if we take a look at angle 1 with the arc next to it, so if you see this is similar to 10.4. So here is angle 1, and the corresponding arc will be here. And in this case, what we do is that we'll have measure of angle 1, it equals to 1/2 of measure of arc AB. So again, basically the same thing, the angle will be half of the arc. Alright, moving on to angle 2, which is on the left side. So angle 2 here, it equals to 1/2 of the arc on the left side as well. And because the arc is larger than 180, we'll call this angle arc BCA. So we use 3 letters to represent it. And now if we just directly change this theorem to become example 1. So let's say if we have this larger arc equals to, let's say, 250. And we'll try to find what's the measure of angle 2. And then let's do it first. So if this is 250, you see how the angle is half of the arc. So in this case, measure of angle 2 will simply be half of 250, which will be 125 degrees. And let's say given angle 1 is 55 degrees. So let's say if we know angle 1 is 55, because 55 plus 125 would be 180, then what is the measure of arc AB? Arc AB in this case, measure of arc AB, again arc is twice the value of that, so it'll be 55 times 2, which will be 110 degrees. Again, keep in mind, angle is half of the arc in this case. Alright, let's move on to the next theorem. So the next theorem goes when you have a circle and then you have 2 segments intersecting. This is A, B, C, and D. And let's say we're trying to find angle 1 here. So now you see how we have the angles inside the circle. So this theorem actually goes with, in order to find the measure of angle 1, measure of angle 1, it would equal to 1/2 of arc CD plus arc AB plus measure of arc AB. So the difference between this one and the last one is that for the last angle, it's on the circle. So the starting point of the angle, when it's on the circle, then it's directly half of the arc it's facing. However, if you see here, we have the angle in the middle, and the angle is facing sideways, right? So in this case, when you're trying to find the measure of the angle, you need to do those two arcs, one on the left side, one on the right side, you need to add them up and then divide by 2. That's how you find it. Alright, so now let's say if we have angle 2 here at the bottom. How do we find angle 2? Is that in order to find a measure of angle 2, it will be 1/2 of. So now because angle 2 is at the bottom, so it's facing up and down, instead of doing those two arcs, now we're actually using the arc at the bottom plus arc on the top. So the direction matters. Whatever direction the angle is facing, it will be half of the arc. Let's say if it's going down, then it will be half of the arc from the top plus the bottom. And then if the angle is facing sideways, then it's half of the arc of left plus right. Alright, so let's see if we do an example here. So let's say we have the top being 130 and then this being 156. So in order to find this, let's say when we're trying to find angle 2, what we do here is that measure of angle 2 will be equaling to 1/2 of 130 plus 156. So you would add them up first, which will have 286. So you have 1/2 of 286 and it will be 143 degrees. So that's how you do it. Okay, let's do one more. This concept, see if we can figure out what are we supposed to do here. Let's make like a harder one. Alright, so here we have a circle. You have 2 lines crossing. And this is A, B, C, D. The arrows. The outside it says Y degrees. The bottom it says 95 degrees. And here the angle is 102. Alright, if you start by looking at this, because we have the arc, because we're trying to find the arc on the top. So our goal is to find the measure of this arc, right? So because we're doing the top and bottom arc, instead of doing the angle on the right side, we need the angle at the bottom or at the top. They'll equal to the same thing. But we need to figure out what's the value for this part. So because this is a straight line, in order to find this area, it will be 180 minus 102. So that will give you 78 degrees. So this part is 78 degrees. Then you can set up your equation. So it will be 78 equals to 1/2 of 95 plus y. And in order to get rid of this 1/2, you can multiply both sides by 2 and you will be getting rid of this 1/2, and the left side it will equal to 156 equals 95 plus y. Then in order to find the value for y, you simply subtract 95 from both sides. So y would equal to 61 degrees. So you see how sometimes you might need to figure out the other angle first and then plug into the equation to solve for the variable. Okay, moving on to the very last theorem of the day, and we'll be done with the section. So the last part of the theorem actually has approximately, well, they all look the same, but a little bit different. Okay, I'm gonna draw 3 diagrams. So that's 1 circle, 2 circle, and then I'll draw the 3rd one down here. Alright, so they all belong to the same theorem. Okay, so the first graph, it goes with one of the line is on the outside and then the other one intersecting the circle. And the second one goes both of the lines are on the outside, and then the third one goes both are intersecting the circle. So they all look very similar, but you see the difference. Alright, so we're trying to find angle 1. Let's just call them, okay, this is angle 1, angle 1. So we're trying to find our angle 1 here under different circumstances. And basically what the theorem says is that the measure of angle 1 would always equals to 1/2 of the outside arc minus the inside arc. So what do you mean the outside arc is that we always use the arc that's further away from the angle. So let's call all this the outside arc. And then the one closer to the angle, we'll call it the inside arc. So it'll be 1/2 of, or let's just say it's outer arc minus inner arc. On the book, it uses a lot of different letters, but because they're actually all the same thing, let's just try to remember it as the one that's on the outer minus the inner, and then half of it would be the measure of the angle. Alright, so I'm gonna show you guys 2 problems on this concept, then we'll be done. Okay, so the first one is right here. That's 178. That's 76. And we're trying to find x. And the second one, I'm just gonna draw both problems first. It'll be here, you have the circle, and then you have here, this angle right here, it's 30 degrees, and the inner one is 44 degrees. We're trying to find the outer arc here. Alright, so number 1 will be a little bit more straightforward because x is the angle we are trying to find. So in order to find x, what we do is that it'll be x equals to 1/2 of the outer arc, which is 178, minus 76. So because x is by itself on the left side, we can just simply calculate what's on the right side. It'll be 1/2 times 102. So if you think about it, half of 102 will be the value of x, so x would simply become 51 degrees here. Alright, so now let's take a look at number 2 here. Again, it's always the angle that goes onto the left side, not always the variable, it's the angle. So in this case, angle is 30 degrees equals 1/2 of, which one is the outer arc here? It's the one that's further away from it, so it'll be 1/2 of y minus 44. And because y is in the parentheses, we want to get rid of the 1/2 first. So if you multiply both sides by 2, you'll get rid of that, and you'll have 60 equals y minus 44. And then if you plus 44 on both sides, you'll have y equals 104 degrees. Alright, is that everything? Oh, we actually have one more theorem to go over in this section. This is a very long section. Make sure you take notes while you're going over this video. Alright, the very last theorem is called circumscribed angle theorem, and here we have a circle. We have 2 tangent lines that goes onto the outside. This is the center, and we have A, B, C, D. Alright, so if we take a look at this and we're trying to find this angle here, we got this angle 1. So the way we do it is that measure of angle 1 here will simply become 180 degrees minus, here, let's call this angle 2, measure of angle 2. So as you can see, angle 1 and angle 2, they're opposite angles, and in this case, basically, they would add equals to 180. It's similar to the inscribed polygon theorem, the inscribed quadrilateral theorem. Alright, so this is not very hard at all. So let's say if angle 1, we have angle 1 being 50 degrees, and we're trying to find angle 2 being x. The way we do it, it would simply become measure of angle 1, which is 50. So it's 50 equals 180 minus x. So in this case, x will simply become 130 degrees. Or let's say if it tells you angle 2 is 130, to find angle 1, you just do 180 minus 130. This part is pretty straightforward. Alright, that's everything we'll be covering in this section. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll see you next time. Bye.